We are back again. Sorry for the last stream. Of course, we had to cut it because the sprint races are they're messed up on this game. They are not working very well. So we've had to reload the lobby and ensure that we go on here again. Sorry, the volume of the stream is up on my phone. You might have heard that in the background. I do apologise for that. But we're back for Tier 4, if you forgot which tier it is. Tier 4 brought us a lot of entertainment in the sprint race, seeing a lot of drama happening at the top spots, collisions, crashes, everything happening on the circuit, and now we await for it to happen again for a longer period of time. Here we, I almost just burped, go in Tier 4. Of course, like I previously said, in the standings, just a little reminder to you all for the standings for tonight's race. Hussein Kuzi is up in the top spots, and it is raining here in the qualifying session. Of course, it's a one-shot qualifying session. What that pretty much means is you only get one shot, obviously, at getting your lap in. If you mess up, you do not redo it or whatnot. It's just you're disqualified from it. But yeah, like I said, the standings are as follows. Hussein Kuzi up into P1 with 76 points, and 14 points behind him is Heat with 62. From then on, it's Moncho, Tim, Lind Falks, STB Audi, Gokhan Limon, Scoppy, Alec, don't worry, I guess, DW, and Marley. Wet qualifying is crazy. It is crazy, Trout. It is very, very crazy. And here we go. We are ready and racing to go. In the intermediates, I think a lot of people are either going to crash or make mistakes here as we go into the exit here with Moncho, sorry. Alec, who won the sprint race here, is currently doing well in P2, showing off his pace again. Can he be more versatile, though, and do it in the rain as well in the dry sprint race that we just previously had? He's in P2 right now, doing well, but IDN, again, he had very good pace in the dry sprint race here in Austria, and he's currently showing his pace here once more in the wet. Hussein Kuzi, of course, the man that leads the championship so far, is here in P3. He's still showing his momentum going into this Grand Prix, trying to build up the lead on the previous man, Heat, who is in P15 right now, not doing well in this qualifying session. That's not going to aid him very well going into the Grand Prix. Hussein Kuzi goes a little bit wide going into that exit there, but IDN up into P2, doing well. But Alec, who won the sprint race, is now going to come around the last two turns here. He's got to make sure he does not invalidate. It's very difficult not to invalidate or not to spin out like that. He's gone wide. He's gone massively wide, making a huge mistake. He drops down because he's invalidated, and IDN will come across the line to take that pole position away from him. Like I said, it's so difficult to keep yourself in between the white lines in the last two turns. He's going to be absolutely livid at himself for not doing better. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, folks. IDN in the McLaren, 114.6. He takes pole going into the Grand Prix. Behind him is Hussein Kuzi, and of course the Aston Martin there of the Czech Republican. Maudi, Jamo, Moncho, Miho, Heat, Tim, Sinan Koch, another guy, El Glasses, another guy, Scoppy, Chazzy, Alec, Gokhan Limon, and Pirillo. But yes, folks, here we go. We're back again. Guess who's back? Back again. Wow, a nice little sunset race. I think that's a mistake by Maudi in the lobby. I don't think he accounted for the start time of these races. So the weather might be the time of day might be a little bit screwed. If you're wondering about the standings or the championship for the teams in Tier 4, it is as follows. McLaren in P1 with 106, Sauber with 100, just behind them. And then as follows, it is Racing Bulls 84, Haas 74, Alpine 63, Mercedes 37, Williams 20, Aston Martin 12, Red Bull 8, and Ferrari with only 1 point. Of course, in this long race, because there's such a big tyre wear issue, which we did previously see, as people were having 60% near the end of the sprint race, only 12 laps, it's just, the tyre wear is such a big issue that you actually have to do a two-stop to finish this race well. Ferrari can never catch a break It seems to be that way. I don't think anybody's racing in the Ferrari. Oh no, Jamo's racing in the Ferrari tonight. Maybe he can try and change that course of action. Gokhan Limon's on soft to start. He's going to have to box really early because the softs wear after like 3 corners, and I'm not joking. I did a couple of laps myself in a qualifying session, in a short quality session, and yeah, it's just really poor. It's so bad, but it's a nice little scenery here, isn't it, folks? A little bit of scenery here in Austria. A lovely, 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 lovely little skyline to see. But Jamo, yes, is the only man racing Ferrari. He did already get points, though, in the sprint race. So, I think he got second even. So, Ferrari are going to be jumping right back up there after this. So, do not fret, Trout. They're going to be doing well now. Thank you for everybody who is tuning in. Make sure to give yourself the predictions for who's going to win this Grand Prix. Is it going to be Alec, who's all the way down in 16, of course, having that very, very frustrating one-shot quali session. Was so good at such good pace, and at the last corner, invalidating. It's a super frustrating thing to happen to you in this game, and unfortunately, it's happened to him. But can he recover? Can he fight back up into the places where he should be? We'll have to see. Looks like Hussein Kuzi and Aydin having different strategies here. Aydin's going to be quicker off the start of this Grand Prix with those mediums, but Hussein Kuzi later on in the Grand Prix is going to have the better pace, and hopefully for him, he can capitalise upon that. But right now, IDN could look to create a gap off the start. But can he? We shortly find out. Fire Knights. It's green light, go, 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 here in the STB Racing League Austria. Tier 4 signs on the grass already. That is the, I think, Aston Martin there of Ero Ligossi. I think that's how you say his name, I'm not too sure. But as we go on to the exit of the first turn here, you can take a look at the Salbers close, jumbled up to each other. There's a bit of commotion here with Tim, as of course he retired into the sprint race. He's now looking for a manoeuvre here on Miho, just up ahead. Can he send it down the inside? No, he cannot. There's a bit of commotion up ahead, and there you go, Miho on the outside. There's a massive pile-ups here into the second turn. So rejoining and colliding with somebody as we enter the third turn of this race. Here we go. There's a massive pile up here in the middle. What's going to happen? So there's 3 wide between 3 drivers here going into the right-hander. Going on to the exit. You can take a look at the Alpines. They're close up to each other now. Still side by side between the Red Bull here is this man and Tim. Tim's going to look to go round the outside. It's a difficult manoeuvre for Tim to accomplish. But can he? Yes, he can. Lovely manoeuvre there from the Red Bull. And he's up into P11 as he's looking at Scoppy up ahead of him. Alec, the man who we said disqualified himself right at the last turn on the one-shot qualifying, currently already showing immense pace, going all the way up into P12 already from the start. But at the top positions, that's a massive dive on there by Gokhan Limon, sorry. I don't think he's going to be able to do that, but he's going to go and try and look for the move into the first turn now. Here comes the Mercedes. Can he complete a manoeuvre into the first turn? El Gas is the man side by side with him, going what? I thought someone was going to go backwards there. I had no clue what was going to happen there. And it's Joe going up the inside there with the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin is able to have the better grip on the exit and is able to keep his position. Hussein Kuzi, despite having not the quickest tyre, is actually creating a gap between the Aston Martin and Jamo. That is huge for his Grand Prix. And the hards might be the better strategy, folks, because of course in a couple of laps' time, these mediums are going to disintegrate pretty much. They drop off massively after like 7 laps. So after the 7 laps, these hards are going to be the better tyres, and the hards will prevail. And as you can see, Moncho to all the way down to El Glasses also have these hards as well. So that jumble of cars could like intervene with the drivers up ahead. You can take a look at Gokhan Limon and El Glasses here, going side by side, going into the last turn here. Is something going to happen? El Glasses going a bit slow onto the exit there. As we go down the checkered straight, as we Look at Pirilo down the inside. Oh, he's gone for a massive set. Big moment there between him and Garcia as he goes to the exit. Tim getting the better exit than both of them. It's STB Maldi though. He's going to try and get the overtake here on Heat. Can he get the overtake on Heat? I think he can. It's 3 wide going on to the exit here as the McLaren gets the better exit and he's up into P4 and STB Maldi has to just wait behind. Then down the inside though goes Aston Martin. Can he go for a 2 for 1 on both the Saubers? Maldi looking for the switchback manoeuvre. He can go for it. Fantastic from STB Maldi. He completes the switchback manoeuvre there onto the exit of that right-hander, and he's up into B5. Well, you can take a look at the top spots here. It's now closing down between JMO and Hussein Kuzi and IDN. They're both much, much closer to each other at these top spots now. What can Miho do, though? He's in the Williams. He's in P8. He was up there previously. I think it was P2 in the sprint qualifying session. Can he perform much better here into the Grand Prix itself? Down the inside. Montra's going to look to go with the Aston Martin. Miho's going to get a good run on this Sauber, considering he went very, very slow there on the exit, as well as the Aston Martin. Here comes Miho. He's going to get the position. But Hussein Kuzi's looking for the lead now. Round the outside, he's going to look to go into that second turn. And unfortunately for him, Arjen's going to get the better exit, the better grip. And it's going to keep the lead. You can take a look at the mumble jumble that's going on here. Alec climbing up the positions as we know he would do. Up into P9. Can he send it down the inside once more on the Aston Martin? Yes, he can. Is he going to be able to make it stick? That's the big question. Riding on the curb to make sure he can. Using the ERS. Desperately trying to get the overtake. And he will. IDN now going for the overtake on Hussein Kuzi. I think he went up the inside. Going into that left-hander. And he made it stick. He's up into P1 once more. IDN back to where you could say he belongs. He's been absolutely fantastic so far on the weekend, and him in P1 I think is very well deserved. But still though, Hussein Kuzi, IDN still going to go at it here. Hussein Kuzi going to go into that first turn very, very close to IDN, and I think on the exit here he's going to get a better speed, a better run. Will he go for the overtake here? Hussein Kuzi versus IDN with JMO just lurking behind. We're going to go from JMO's view as we watch this. Down the inside. Hussein Kuzi's going to go here with IDN going into the second turn. He's going to lunge it really deep. And it appears to me that he's got the DRS. He has got the DRS. That's a huge help to try and get him back up another position. JMO's now going to come in here, going for the manoeuvre into the right-hander. He's going to send it down the inside as we go into the right-hander. Is he going to be able to get the better exit out of IDN and him? Yes, he will. Will he make the landing stick? Yes, he can. He has landed up into P2. He has, oh, but IDN's looking for a manoeuvre here. There's not much room for him to go. It could have caused a collision if he went fully into it. But IDN, in just a couple of corners, going down 2 positions. It just shows you how topsy-turvy this tier can be, as well as how topsy-turvy Austria can be. But now, Hussein Kuzi, he's got JMO lurking behind him for the top spot now. But as we previously said, the hard tyres are probably going to kick in very, very soon. So if he can keep this top position for quite a small amount of time, I believe he will be able to pull away from JMO in a couple of laps' time. JMO though, still searching, still looking for a manoeuvre. Can he go for a manoeuvre on him? Not yet, he can't. He's going to have to wait. And oh, McLaren isn't waiting there of IDN. He hits the back of JMO and has got the manoeuvre. It's a bit of a push to pass, but it's not that illegal. He will get the manoeuvre done and dusted. And it's Chazzy now getting an overtake on Sin. And oh, it's a big moment here between these cars over here. Here comes the Alpine coming onto the V car. I'm going to look for the outside line. Is he going to get the outside line? No, he's going to send it down the inside, I believe. No, moving under braking there, though. Not a very good thing to see. But Sinan Koch, what up, chat? Hello, Cabrado. Is that Cabrado going to keep his word? He did say he would donate the 95 bits because Tharlo crashed out. So I mean, there you go, Cabrado, mate. So if you're gonna donate it, you got to donate it. But here's the Alpine. I think he went wide there. And oh no, big moment! And Gökhan Lumon is at the back of the Alpine. And unfortunately for him, he's down into P16, 17. Is he going to go down to P18? No. But very unfortunate for the Mercedes there. And you can take a look at there, the Aston Martin now having a 3-second time penalty. I think Gökhan Lumon might just go into the pit lane and retire from this Grand Prix, if I'm honest with you. He's not very happy with himself. Which I see why, to be honest with you. Miho, though, up into P8 at the moment. He's coming into that right-hander. Doing decent, and we know he has the potential to be up there because he had the P2 going into the sprint. as we complete the sprint qualifying session. Into the right-hander here, though. There's... Whoa, my God, what's happened over here? The Alpine, he's off track. You can't park there. You cannot park there. And unfortunately, he did park there, and it's going to cost him a lot of positions. As we go, well, I think there's something happened here, and it's Tim Tam, the fat man. Unfortunately for him, P16. I'm not actually calling him fat. I'm Tim the Tap Man, like the Fortnite streamer. I just said Fortnite in an F1 lobby. What am I doing? What am I doing on comms? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh, sorry, I should be fired for that. That's disgusting. Here we go. They're into the right-hander. JMO on IDN. Can he get something going? He has the momentum. He has some pace. IDN does have a penalty, though, which means that if he was to finish just behind him, JMO will actually jump ahead of him going into the end of the Grand Prix. Looks like Tim is having issues once more going into this turn, being quite slow. Is Mr. JMO. And Alec now overtaking STB Malde, going to go around the outside into the right-hander. He's going to get that manoeuvre done and dusted. Very nice manoeuvre from him. Iroligi, I've got to say his name right. Irole, I don't know, man. Now that name is just awful. With all due respect, I can't say that. I've got to try and say it right, but I can't, unfortunately. So there you go. But as we go into the right-hander here, JMO overtaking IDN, and IDN, well, it's because he's going into the pit lane. The mediums, like I said, they're going to wear off very, very quick. I think this is the right call from IDN though, and STB Maldi. They both go into the pit lane. I think this is the right call from them. How do you cheer them? I don't think we have it on, unfortunately. I don't think you can donate them to Cabrado, which is unfortunate. If we got it working, STB Maldi, you know, he could get some money off you. but unfortunately, I don't think you can cheer in the chat or donate bits or whatnot. I'm sorry. I think I just realised that, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it is what it is, but nothing's the same. Here's Moncho though, on JMO. Gonna go down the inside. Is Jimmy gonna look for that switchback manoeuvre? I think he was, but he's not gonna get it, unfortunately for him. I think he's gonna go into the pit lane soon. Yeah, where you got to do that then? Do you know what? You're a better man than I am, Cabrado. You're a better man than I am. Because if I'm honest with you, I wouldn't bother after Maldi not setting it up correctly. I'll talk to him, and hopefully in 2 weeks' time, because we're not doing next week because we have a break week. Oh my word, massive moment there, which could have been fatal for Alec. But yeah, like I was saying, in 2 weeks' time, because we're not doing next week because we're sick and tired of this game crashing all the time. So that's pretty much it. We're taking a break next week. So if you want to cheer then you're going to have to wait till 2 weeks' time, unfortunately. So it's a bit jarring, but it is what it is. It's going to happen, unfortunately. JMO is in the box. I think he's just got jumped by IDN. He pitted a lap before. I think the undercut worked very, very well, as he's going to have to overtake Pirilo here. And he does overtake Pirilo down the straight. DRS being used. You can take a look. That cut is massive, as Maldi now gets ahead of JMO. So, yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. These people on mediums need to be boxing right about now. Hussein Kuzi and Moncho, these are the top spots. They've got to use these hards very, very well. I think around 5 laps time they're going to go ahead and box soon. So yeah, these guys need to be on the pace with these mediums right now, and sorry, not mediums, hards right now. And then when they go into the box for either mediums or hards, because it's a 2-stop, guys. Just a reminder, it's a 2-stop here. Typically in F1 you never do 2 stops in F1 25. You never do 2 stops because it's too slow. Because you're risking 30 seconds of time, because it takes 30 seconds to go into the pits. But because the tyre wear is so bad in Austria, you have to do 2 stops to actually complete the race. So yeah, and it looks like the Aston Martin and of course Heat are doing just that. Down the inside goes Alec or Moncho, going into that right-hander here, and I think he's going to complete that manoeuvre very, very tidy and neatly, and he is. Lovely stuff from him. He'll absolutely have that. Aeroleague soy. That's what I'm going to say. Is there a league, Sawyer? Of course, with El Glass just ahead of him. Pirillo could be slowing up JMO here, which is not good for him. He's wanted to get past STB Maldi, who undercut him just a lap ago. So can JMO do that? We'll have to see. Take a look here. Very close with each other, just like IDN and Senan Koch are very close to each other. And IDN already getting up the paces here. I mean, this is going to be brutal when the people up ahead of him are going to box. So, you know, these guys over here, Scop, Chazzy, Miho, Moncho, Alec, Hussein Kuzi. When these guys box, I mean, IDN's going to be ahead of them by miles when they come out. But because they will have, most likely, mediums on, it will enable them to just go quicker for the first couple of laps. So they might catch up to him. Maybe not, I don't know. But obviously this is not looking good for the people who are not boxing right now on the hards. I think the mediums is the way to go when you want to start a race like this. So anyone who's just joining in, this is tier 4. We have 3 other tiers on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday. Thursday today is tier 4. Of course, Monday, tier 1, Tuesday, tier 2, Wednesday, tier 3, and of course Thursday, tier 4. We will not be streaming next week. We're having a break week next week because we are sick and tired of this game crashing all the time, so we can't be asked to do any races, with all due respect. And after that next week, we are back, ready to give you the action once more. Alec, doing a little bit of a drift there. It's not Tokyo Drift Bout. I think that's just telling you how bad these hards are now going to feel from now on. 12 laps in, it's not going to feel good. But people are coming in on mediums, that's going to be Pirillo and these lot. IDN now getting an overtake here on Scoppy down the straight, but Scoppy, he's not going to go out without a fight. Or maybe he is just going to go out without a fight because he can't really battle IDN's pace on these new hards. He's got 3 times softer hards than these other guys do. I mean, he's pretty much going to go 3 times quicker around the circuit than these guys up ahead of him. That's pretty much how you can think about it. I mean, these guys, in my opinion, they've got a box for mediums now, and Alec is going to go around a box for mediums now. But this is just going to be an example. You're going to take a look at how far ahead IDN is going to be of Alec here when Alec exits the pit lane. It's going to be quite devastating, actually, in my opinion. Look at this. You see those white little dots in the bottom right-hand corner, just to the side stopping? That's them. That is a massive gap. And even if you go on mediums very, very soon, or if you're on mediums now, I don't think you can close that gap to the man on hards and relatively new hards of IDN. So, I mean, Miho and I mean Hussein Kuzi, the man who's leading the standings right now, by the way, folks, the man who's leading the standings is on this strategy, and I think IDN's going to capitalise him or punish him, I should rather say, for that. So yeah, IDN storming through right now in Austria. And, you know, if they're not careful, we might go away from him. But as we take a look here, Sinan Koch and Alec W, very, very close to each other as he goes down the inside here, Alec. Can he get the manoeuvre here on Sinan Koch onto the exit? He's got the better grip, the better exit. And Sinan Koch has to obey the pace of Alec as he manoeuvres past. Miho, though, up into P3, doing well, but, I mean, IDN lurking behind him. I mean, IDN's not going to catch up to Miho, and Miho should be boxing right now. He's not boxing right now. Maybe he's trying to go for a one-stop. One-stop's a very, very unlikely to work here. So if he is going to go for that, I don't think he's going to do very well, unfortunately. Here goes Moncho, yet again, just another example. Look at that green dot in the bottom right of your screen, just to the side that stopped, and you can just take a look at how far he's going to be when he exits the pit lane. Or you can just take a look at him dropping down there in Moncho on the left-hand side. Coming out the pit lane, he is a massive, he leagues. IDN is already in the second turn when he exits the pit lane. That's how big of a jump this is going to be. Of course, if Hussein Kuzi can actually stretch these out enough, you could do it until, like, lap 20. But even if you do it at lap 2, even if you do it... crikey, sorry. Even if you do it at lap 20, if you go on to mediums from lap 20 on, 16 laps on mediums is death. You're not going to be able to do that. You're just not... In 12 laps, we had 60% with the people in the sprint race. I mean, it's just going to be way too difficult for Hussein Kuzi to achieve. And I don't think he can achieve it. But IDN, I think, needs to be looking for a one-stop. You can't look for a one-stop. You cannot look for a one-stop in this game. in Austria. You can't do it. I mean, if they're looking for a one-stop, you can pretty much, unfortunately, Miho and Kuzi, you can pretty much rule them out of winning this Grand Prix. Like, very unfortunately, but sometimes that's just how this game works. You've got to pick the right strategy at the right time, and I don't think this is the right strategy that they are on. So, what can you do? I mean, Moncho, by the way, if we monitor this more, Moncho is 1 lap on these mediums. Maudi is 7 laps on those hards. The mediums should be much quicker than these hards right now. But Moncho, 2 seconds, I mean, he's getting closer. But not by a huge amount. It's not... Going on the mediums now will not be quick enough to ensure you go ahead. But here we go. Alec and JMO and Scoppy all going for a little squabble up here as we go into the left-hander, the double left-hander. Around the outside, Alec is going to go. Something happened into turn 1. I think Tim's just killed himself. Fair play, mate. But Scoppy still ahead in P5. There's a safety car. Brilliant. Okay, never mind. Tim, mate. Don't know what you've done there. And, oh, wow. This virtual, you need to box now if you're Kuzi or Miho. Miho's done the right call. Miho has done absolutely the right call here coming into the box. I don't know what he's going to go on though. He might have to go medium and then softs, just right at the end of the Grand Prix. If he goes on another set of hards, and he tries to complete the race on another set of hards, he will get disqualified, so he's going to have to go for mediums or soft. He's going to go for mediums. Is that inters? No, it's mediums. My brain is not good. But even though this is a virtual safety car, you can just take a look at the gap between him and IDN. I mean, it's just not... It's not good. It's not good. But the mediums here, they're going to last around 12 laps. I'm assuming he's going to go softs at the end of this race. He can't stretch these out enough for 20 laps. That is 100% sure. You can have my guarantee on that. You can have some Garen on my cup of tea for that. There's no shot he's going to be able to do that. And look, IGN's going to be 2 times as quick as Hussein Kuzi right now. And Hussein Kuzi is going to be absolutely dropping like a fly because of these hards. So really, you could consider him being 4 times quicker than Huzi right now. I mean, but of course, the mediums, the hards of IDN, of course, are going to drop off around this point. They're not going to be nearly as good as they were at the beginning of his stint. But you'd rather not have double these amount of laps on these tyres as Hussein Kuzi has. It's really poor for Hussein Kuzi. He's really not going to have a lovely time when IDN eventually catches up to him. Not much going on except for Moncho and Maudi going at it here. So Moncho has caught up to Maudi. He has got the manoeuvre on Maudi. So maybe that's something to come. Maybe the mediums are not as bad going on to. But, I mean, the gap's just not going to be small enough for Hussein Kuzi to get back at IDN near the end of this Grand Prix if he's looking to go for a one-stop on those mediums. I mean, Hussein Kuzi, in my eyes, you could rule him out for winning this Grand Prix. It's pretty much between JMO, Alec, and IDN. That's pretty much it. I mean, Hussein Kuzi, the championship leader, is not performing well. And oh my word, go Can Limon there in the wall. Is that a safety car? That's a safety car. Okay, that's a big one. Hussein Kuzi can now officially go into the box for mediums. That is good for him. It's also good for me because I really, really need to go to the toilet. So I'm going to go just for a moment, for a moment's notice. We're going to look at IDN leading the ground. Oh, he's going to go into the pit lane himself. He's going to go into the pit lane himself. I don't know what he's going to go on. He might go for mediums. I'm not sure. But Hussein Kuzi has been absolutely saved by that safety car there. He would have been absolutely fucked for the rest of the Grand Prix if it wasn't for that safety car. But he's coming out, I think, in P1. I don't think anybody's going to stay out. And even if they do stay out, I don't think they're going to be quick enough to go into P1. Except for that Sabo right there. I think it's Moncho. Yeah, it's Moncho. No, still ahead. Kuzi's going to be still ahead. So there you go. Kuzi somehow still leading this Grand Prix. He's very lucky with that safety car. I'll be back in a moment's notice. Get yourself some crisps or whatnot. Eat something whilst you watch this. I'm going to have to go and take a little piss. I'll be back in a minute, folks. Alright, we're back, folks. We are thoroughly back. This boy seriously taking a break might be peak commentating. There you go, mate. There you go, pal. If you want to hear more peak commentating, then you better follow us, because we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks, we have a break next week. So in 2 weeks' time, you will see us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday around 8 PM. I think it's GMT. It might be BST. Britain's weird, mate. We have 2 different time zones that we switch for some reason. So it's one of those, BST or GMT, 8 PM. If you want to see what that is in your area, please give it a look. And if you do, BST is British summertime. So when we are in summer, you know, that's what we switch to. We switch to British summertime. That's what it is. And GMT is general something time. It's general mandatory time. I don't know, mate, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, any people watching, hello to everybody who is watching the stream at the moment. We're just talking about what's going on in this race right now. Hussein Kuzi pitting the league, the championship leader, pitting on these mediums. The right call, I believe. I mean, IDN is on hards, which I just seen. Everything more simpler across the canal for real. There you go then, mate. Please comment who you think's going to win this Grand Prix. It's going to be close towards the end of this. A chop and change of tyre strategy. A little bit of thinking having to be put into this race for these drivers to try and maximise their result as much as they possibly can. Hussein Kuzi up in that top spot in both the standings and in this race. He has got a 14-point gap to Heat, who is in P7 right now, of 14 points. If he wins, of course, that is going to massively increase, and it could mean he might run away. But Moncho, do not forget, Moncho is actually P3 in the standings, only 18 points behind him. So if Moncho, although he's got the worst tyres, although he's going to have a less chance of doing it, if Moncho can actually re-overtake Hussein Kuzi, he can actually gain points on him. He can close down the gap between him and Kuzi, and especially because he's performing much better than Heat so far in this Grand Prix, he will most likely jump ahead of Heat if he is to finish P2 in this race. It's a bit complicated, but of course we will inform you of what the standings are for the next race in 2 weeks' time. So if you're there for the 2 weeks' time, I don't know which Grand Prix we're doing, if I'm being honest with you, but the safety car restart is now happening. If you're here, if you're stuck around the safety car restart, you're in for good luck. Here we go, folks. Hussein Kuzi, Moncho, Miho, IDN, Alec, JMO, Heat, Aston, Maldi, Scoppy, Chazzy, Sinan, Pirillo, Iroligosi, El Glasses, Gokan, Lemon, Tim, and everybody else. We await the restart here of the STB Racing League Season 29, Tier 4, Austrian Grand Prix. Here we go. Hussein Kuzi. And it's restart. We go once again. Can Moncho quickly close down the gap from the start of this restart? I don't think he can. Is there going to be much collisions going into that first time? I don't believe so. IDN getting very close to Miho, though, who is ahead of him fairly decently, but he has got a 3-second time penalty instantly. But so does IDN. He does have a time penalty himself. Tim's got a 10-second time penalty for ignoring flags. We can take a look at the penalties here. 6 seconds for Miho, IDM with 3 seconds and whatnot. We're going to look back on the tyres though. Here's Moncho though, 4 tenths behind Hussein Kuzi. Can he keep within the DRS? If he can keep within the DRS, he's going to maximise the gap between him and Miho, because Miho does not have DRS, because he is not within 1 second of the car ahead of him. Here we go though, can Moncho open up that gap? IDN overtaking Miho. Miho still got his nose in there as we go into the left, and a massive contact there between him and Miho, and more contact there with him and JMO. He's been pushed down the grid, unfortunately for Miho. He's down into P7, and unfortunately for him, it's just how the cookie crumbles. Down into P7, JMO with a big hit on him. I don't know if he could do anything about it. I don't know if he's got damage even. That was a pretty hefty hit. He might have damage. JMO, we're going to have to just look at his card just for a moment and try and indicate if he has got that. Oh, it's 3 wide, that's a straight never bloody mind. What's going on here? Massive fucking crash. What is going on? Going into the first, and now it's 3 wide. Jesus Christ, Sin and Koch. What the bloody hell was that? Massive moment down the pit lane straight. I couldn't tell you what happened. I could not tell you. Massive moment. Jesus Christ. Could have killed him. Could have absolutely bloody killed him. Who's Nkuzi though, still in that top spot. 5/10, but what's happening to Chazzy here? Chazzy making a big mistake on the exit of turn 2. It's a very tough hairpin to get right, and if you do make a mistake, you are likely to end up in those little railings on the right-hand side or in the grass. And it seems like, unfortunately, that has happened to him. Down the inside, it looks like Cocaine Limon's going to go, and that's going to ghost him, meaning Pirido can easily slide through for a P12. Can he get a re-overtake here on El Glasses, who seems to be not driving very well here at the moment? There could have been big contact there between these two drivers here of the Williams and whatnot. As the Williams, I think, almost looking for a move there, going into that right-hander. Going to go into the right-hander once more. Welcome everybody who's watching right now. Please consider who's going to win this Grand Prix. Please type it in the chat. Who's going to win the Grand Prix as we go down the inside here with Pirido, going into that first turn. Can he get the overtake? He can on El Glasses. And El Glasses is going to have to stay behind and look for a move another day. Rain, rain, go away. Come back another day. Alec DW though getting an overtake on Moncho. Moncho's not going to be too happy about that. There's a car here. I think that's Gokhan Limon who is ghosting here. This, by the way, does mean that he can give people DRS even though he's a lapped car. It's a bit frustrating, I know, but unfortunately it's just what happens. By the way, as we look into the standings of the constructors, that just means the teams. McLaren are up there, P1, followed by Sauber, Racing Bulls, Haas, Alpine, Mercedes, Williams, Aston Martin, Red Bull and Ferrari. The gap between Sauber and McLaren is 6 points in that top spot, with 106 for McLaren and 100 for Sauber. And Sauber right now, if Mauri can get an overtake on Heat just up ahead, he can close down that gap by a fair bit, and it could lead to them actually leading the standings after this Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. But here we go, here comes IDN. He's getting close here to Moncho as we go towards the second turn. As we know, the second turn is sometimes one of the most deadliest turns of this whole circuit. Down the inside, Alex going to go though. Here, Hussein Guzzi going into that turn. Can he get the manoeuvre? It's a very clean one. There's a bit of contact there between Moncho and IDN as we go onto the exit of them. But very, very close there. And Hussein Guzzi, he's a lucky man to be on these mediums and still be in this spot right now. That safety car that came out was a very, very lucky one. As IDN sends it down the inside of Moncho, going onto the exit. Can Moncho keep the position, or can he just crumble away? No, Moncho still keeps it. It's a switchback manoeuvre. Oh, lovely move there from IDN. There's a little bit of contact, but a lovely little switchback on Moncho. I don't think Moncho's going to be very happy like that, because he looks a bit daft, really, on the exit of that turn. Well done to IDN. It's an absolutely lovely manoeuvre. What a switchback. It's just what you want to see here in Tier 4. Lovely driving like that. And he's up into P3. And he will be looking for those top spots. Of course, though, he has got a penalty of 6 seconds. Hussein Guzzi has no penalties. He has been a very good boy in what he's doing on the circuit right now. Gokhan Limon with a 3 seconds on the penalty. But, yeah, this is looking very, very good for Hussein Guzzi, as he's looking to go for the manoeuvre here on Alec. Down the inside he looks to go. Is there space? Is there room for the manoeuvre? No! IDN going around the outside at the last second, though. Absolutely fantastic stuff there from IDN. He gets the overtake. Done and dusted. Well done to IDN. But of course, though, Hussein Guzzi would win this race still on penalties. Hussein Guzzi would have to get 6 seconds of time penalties for it to be equal. And even if he did get the 6-second time penalties, Moncho here would take the win. So pretty much it's between Hussein Guzzi and Moncho right now for the win of this Grand Prix as we speak. Or Hiccup in my case. Moncho very close to Hussein Guzzi, only 5/10. If he can get an overtake and keep and stay ahead of Hussein Guzzi, it will enable a victory for the Kick Sauber. Can he do that though when he's got the worst tyres out the two of them? As we take a look here, the tyres, of course, around 12 for Moncho. These guys are going to have to pit again for softs, and I'd pit right now. Actually, I'll pit right now for another set of mediums if I was Moncho, really. I know the wow, lovely little bit of voice crack there. I know that these these mediums, they die out around now. Around 12 laps and they die out around now. He's done very well to keep up with Hussein Guzzi and IDN and whatnot. Oh my god, is that bloody hell? And whatnot? But he has to go into the pits. He has to go into the pits because otherwise he's going to drop off way too steeply. If I'm him, I'm going into the box for mediums. It's 9 laps on mediums, which is not that bad. Or I'll go on hards, really, because if some people go on mediums around you, then the hards will actually favour you much more around those types of laps. Safety car! You have to go into the box now! You have to go into the box now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well done to Moncho going into the box. Very well. You have to go to the box. Alec going into the box. People going into the box left, right, and centre. I don't know who died there. Miho. What's Miho going to do? Is he going to go to the box? Yes, Miho is in the box. Oh my, oh my. What a mental race this is, folks. Mental race. And Maudi stays out. And JMO stays out. Alex on... I think Alex on used hards here. Alex has boxed onto new... onto used hards. IDN's on soft. So that's going to disintegrate in like 3 laps. So I don't know why he's done that. Hussein Kuzi's behind IDN, but IDN has the penalty. It's pretty much... I mean, Maudi, I don't know why Maudi's done this. I don't know what he's trying to cook up here. Unless Alec just absolutely holds up IDN and Hussein Kuzi and Moncho for ages around the next 8 laps of this Grand Prix. I mean, Maudi, it's a strange strategy. He's going to be on like 40% hards here. And he's looking to stay out on them, even though everybody around him is on the new set of tyres. Even if it's at hards, I mean, like, just having new sets of tyres against somebody who's got 9 laps is obviously going to favour you much more, especially if those are softer compounds. So Maudi on these hards, in my opinion, I have not a fucking clue what he's thinking of here. I mean, the only way I could see him winning this race is if Alec and IDN just absolutely kill each other. Just absolutely murder them. And then all of a sudden he's gapped them all by ages and it's an easy win. I mean, he would win this race right now because Jamie's got a penalty, meaning that Maudi will finish P1 due to the penalties. But I'll tell you what, folks. It's been a weird one, this one. My headset did a little beep in my ear, which tells me that I'm not on very high charge on my headset. So if I do, like, cut out and I'm not saying anything, it's because of that. I will charge it on my little stand over here, and I'll just speak into it rather than actually wearing it, and then you'll be able to hear me just as good. But, yeah, do not expect, if I do cut out, it's not because I'm an idiot, it's because, well, I am kind of an idiot for letting this headset be this low charge in the first place. But it's, you know what I mean. You get it. Yeah. Look, 10 laps now on these hards. I don't know why he's done this, Maudi and JMO, really. Alec, I can understand because it's 4 laps less, sorry. He has a higher chance of staying ahead of these lot. I mean, to be fair, though, to Maudi, if Alec and IDN overtake him, he can still re-overtake them at the end of the Grand Prix because of the time penalties. But Hussein Kuzi, when Hussein Kuzi overtakes, forgot to change my tyres to softs. There you go. It's a shame. Alec, it's a shame. But, to be fair, Alec, I wouldn't have gone softs if I were you. The softs are going to just absolutely just go. They're going to go in, like, 2-3 laps that you're on them for in Austria. So actually having them on hards, I mean, granted, it's 7 laps on hards. It might actually be a blessing in disguise for you, Alec, mate. So I wouldn't get too mad at that. Just try and do your best on these hards until the end. Nurse them. Make sure you're defending well and smartly. And you can get yourself a podium here if Hussein Kuzi or Moncho crash or get a penalty themselves. So I would not worry about it too much, Alec, my friend. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. STB. Matt Aldi. Here in P2. He's the main man to look for here, as we now have the safety car restart. I have no clue what this man's plan is. I have no clue what the plan for this man is. He does not look like a man with a plan. He's not the Heath Ledger Joker. But really not like a man with a plan, or a guy with a plan. He's the Joker. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, he's Joker from the Dark Knight, mate. He has no clue what he's doing, and he's actually a clown himself, really. So you know, it does make sense. But here we go, though. Safety car restart. JMO just up ahead. I'm mainly looking at Hussein Kuzi here, the championship leader. Moncho, the third man of the championship, and Heat, actually the second man, is just behind them, but he's got a penalty as well. So it could be between Hussein Kuzi and Moncho as we get going. Now, can Maudi make a surprise win out of all this kerfuffle as we go into the right-hander here? He's going to have to try his very best to hold up the guys ahead of him. That's going to be an illegal overtake. I think Arden has to let Alec go. He got the overtake before the line. There's a big bump, though, between Alec and IDN. IDN ahead of him, I think a bit controversially, though. Using the ERS, Maudi is. He's going to have to survive for 5 laps. If he can survive for 5 laps, he will get the victory in this Grand Prix. He's gone a bit deep into that turn, though. There's another safety car! Oh my god, that is perfect for Maudi. I'm sorry. That is absolutely perfect for Maudi. The man is lucky. The man is he's a lucky man, he is. He can just stay on these. He has to stay on these hards, by the way. And the safety car is going to last around 3 laps, which means there's only 3 or 2 laps left to go. And I'm pretty sure if he defends well and uses his ERS correctly, which it might be a bit too much to ask from Maudi, if I'm honest with you. But either way, if he can do that, he can actually take the win here. And I think he's starting to realise that. He cannot go into the box, though, and he's not going to go into the box. Good boy, good man. He's staying on the hards. This is perfect for Maudi. I don't know if anybody is going to box, though. I think Alec might, because he went into the wrong hards. No, he's not going. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to box. So I think in... Oh, no. Aero Legosi. Aero Legosi. He's coming into the box. And that's it. So we're going to have to wait for the Aston Martin. And then we're going again. I'd assume, really, this is going to restart at lap 34. And by then, could it be too little, too late for Hussein Kuzi to get himself the win? Let's just take a look at the race director here and take a look at Maudi's laps. If our lap time don't matter about that. He has no warnings. Which means, even if he goes a bit wide, he can go a bit wide and not have a penalty. Folks. It's big time. This is a shootout right now, right until the end. Will it? Is it actually going to restart now? No, it's not going to restart now. It's going to restart on lap 33, folks. The safety car will come in on lap 33, and it's going to be 3 laps left for Aaron Pring official on both TikTok and Instagram. You can follow him, by the way. Aaron Pring official. That's AAR. That's AARON. PRINGOFFICIAL. That is his stuff. So there you go. If you want to follow this absolute fat man on those socials, then you can, mate. Here we go. We've got 4 laps left here. It's interesting what's happening here. El Glass is coming into the pit lane. So actually, we might have to go on for another lap on the safety car, and eventually we'll get going. This is even better for Maudi. El Glasses is doing Maudi an absolute huge favour here. He truly is. 8 people watching this. And you're getting the entertainment, folks. You're going to get some entertainment here. We've got 3 laps left. Maudi has been bold in staying out on these very used hards. And he's going to have to defend with some rampant drivers behind him in Hussein Kuzi and Moncho and IDN. And try and get the victory. And granted, IDN and Alec do have penalties, which means if they finish ahead of Maudi, but Maudi is close to them, close enough to them, actually what will happen is he will finish ahead of them on track. It's the same with JMO. He's also that little black and white flag. That is a penalty. So anybody with those black and white flags, which is literally par from that's a lot of people. All I'm saying is things could look very good for Maudi if he tries not to be stupid, which is it's sometimes too much to ask from that fat man. But he could do it right here, right now. Free. It's not free. 3 laps left. 3 to go. 3 to determine the victor here in Austria. Here we go, Jim. It's gone a bit early there. And we get their safety car restart underway. IDN's going to be looking up Mountie's bum cheeks like you wouldn't on an Instagram live, if I'm honest with you. Looking to try and get the overtake on it. My headset is still beeping. I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and charge it now on here. I'm going to keep the mic on. I hope my mic is going to be close enough to you guys to where you can hear me quite well. I'm going to lean into it a little bit. Here's IDN. He's going to look for the overtaker on STB Mountie. Going into the right-hander here on the outside here. And STB Mountie has conceded the position here to IDN. And it hits the back of him. Jamo's gone wide. And IDN will come through here for the lead here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Mountie needs to stay behind. Jamo needs to get close enough to IDN to ensure that he does not gap them by a huge amount. Granted though, these softs are on 6 laps. They're not going to be particularly fantastic. And IDN also, by the way, has got, if I take a look here, 6 seconds of time penalty. So either way, Mountie is going to finish ahead of him if this continues. But look, you can take a look here. Hussein Gouzi and Alec are going very, very close to each other. Mountie in P3 currently would win this Grand Prix if it ends in this exact order. He's got to defend extremely hard against Alec, and if Alec can hold up Hussein Gouzi by any stretch of the imagination, it will ensure the win for STB Mountie. But I think at the very, very least, Mountie is going to get a very good position here from having this very bold strategy of staying out on these very old, hard tyres. But look at this. Jamo is almost without DRS to IDN, which would be absolutely massive for IDN later on, but he's back within 7 tenths. Well done to Jamo. He's now going to have the DRS now here down the straight. Very good stuff from Jamo. Mountie could win this race, folks. Mountie could win here in Tier 4. The DRS still being used. Mountie using that DRS. Alec, is he going to go for a manoeuvre here on Mountie? Yes, he will. Down the inside it goes on STB Mountie. Can he get the manoeuvre completed cleanly? I think he can. There's still side by side going on to the exit of this turn. Mountie just has to let him go. Let him go trying to defend against Hussein Gouzi. No, he stays ahead. Well done, Mountie. Staying ahead there, going into the left-hander. Hello, Phantom Master. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. You are here witnessing the very last moments of a very entertaining and nerve-wracking Grand Prix. Currently, Mountie would win with an extremely bold strategy of waiting out and staying out on extremely worn out hards. He's only got 1 lap left to go. It is the final lap here of the Grand Prix. Is Jamo going to stay within DRS? Yes, he will. Going into the right-hander here. Fantastic news for Mountie. He just needs to make sure that Hussein Gouzi's got a penalty. I did not realise this. STB Mountie, he's going to storm through for the victory here. If he just stays out, and if he just doesn't have his tyres pop, if he doesn't do anything stupid, he's going to win this Grand Prix. Alec, sends it on the inside. It doesn't matter. Let them go, Mountie. Let them go. Make sure your teammate Moncho doesn't overtake you. That's the only thing you need to do. Make sure Moncho does not overtake you, and you win the Grand Prix. Mountie could win the Grand Prix, folks. Here we go. Into the right-hander here. Hussein Gouzi gets the overtake, which previously would be absolutely devastating, but it doesn't matter. Moncho needs to do everything he can to try and overtake Mountie, but he hasn't got any crucial overtaking moments to go for. No crucial overtaking corners to go for, but he's right up behind him. He's got the better tyres. Is he going to hold off? Can Mountie hold off? Can he get the victory? Here comes Moncho, right to the death there. If the 2 kicks out, was going for the win. Can he go for the manoeuvre? Moncho cannot at the moment. Here we go into the right-hander, the 2 double right-handers. Mountie, can he take the victory into the last turn? Moncho goes a bit too deep. STB Mountie has pulled off a wonderful strategy, and he wins the Austrian Grand Prix on 18 laps of hards. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. A 1-2 for the kick Sauber. Fantastic drive from STB Mountie, and he takes a crucial victory here in Tier 4. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Fantastic stuff from STB Mountie. Fantastic stuff. I cannot believe it. Hussein Gouzi just made one mistake. One mistake on getting a penalty. And Mountie capitalises and wins on track. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. It's a fantastic drive from Mountie. He's pulled off a masterclass. He has done a masterclass here. Well done to STB Mountie. My jaw hurts from commentating. That was so entertaining. Well done, STB Maldi. He has pulled off a fantastic strategy and won himself a Grand Prix. If you're just coming in now, Maldi stayed out with around 10 laps of hard tyres, which is extremely painful to drive around in. They're very, very slow. And with other people boxing around him, he had to try and just hold off and stay until the final checkered flag, which he did. And he got himself the victory. Unbelievable stuff. Granted, that was mostly due to the time penalties, but hey, he had no warnings. And then that Grand Prix, no warnings from STB Maldi is a miracle. That's like seeing a unicorn. Well done to him. He takes 25 points in Austria. That has been Austria. That has been Tier 4. Thank you all for watching very, very much. In 2 weeks' time, because we're having a break next week, in 2 weeks' time, you'll be able to see this action again around another circuit. I'll actually get the circuit up for you right now. Let's take a look. What is the calendar saying? So, in 2 weeks' time, we are going all the way to Kota. So, if you want to come to Kota, if you want to come and see what these set of drivers are going to do around a more prolific track like Kota, make sure you stay. Unbelievable race tonight. I've been Pistol. Thank you all very much for watching. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, STB live again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you all for watching and witnessing a fantastic race. We'll see you later. Have a lovely night. Good night. Oh, bloody hell. Good night. Jesus bloody